In this next video, we're going to look at the PMT function, which is one of the more relevant and powerful of all Excel functions. And basically what it does is it calculates what your payment will be for a loan based upon the size of the loan, the number of years that you have the loan for, and then lastly, the annual interest rate. So there's three variables: the size of the loan, how long you have to pay back the loan, in this case it's 10 years, and then what the interest rate is. So let's begin by clicking in cell B5, and we're going to use that PMT function. Click on FX, function. We already have it here. I've been using it recently. But if it weren't showing, you would just type in PMT. So it's PMT. Click OK. Go with our rate. So that's our first line. And it's explained right over here. It's your interest rate. 4%, which happens to be in B4. We're going to be making monthly payments. So as such, because it's monthly payments, you need to take that interest rate and divide it by 12. If it were quarterly payments, it would be the interest rate divided by 4. And once again, this is explained right here. The first line, we're taking our interest rate, 4%, which happens to be in B4, divided by 12. NPER are the total payments that you're going to have to make. And how that's determined is by clicking on the 10, which happens to be in cell B3, multiplied by 12, because it's 12 months in a year. So it's 10 times 12, or B3 multiplied by 12. Lastly, the PV is the size of the loan. Now, in order to have that payment show as a positive number, you need to put in a negative sign. So negative times a negative is a positive, and that's why we're putting it in. So negative sign. Click on the size of the loan, which happens to be in B2. Click OK. What this is telling us is that we would have to be making a monthly payment of $404.98 per month over a 10-year period of time. I always like to kind of come down here and say, well, what's my yearly payment's going to be? So I'm just going to put in a simple formula, equal, take this amount here, which is B5, times 12. So we'd have to be making a $4,859 payment per year to be bringing down that loan of $40,000. For a lot of people, I mean, and this is the beauty of this PMT function. It's very easy to change your parameters. But before I do that, I'm going to take a look at that $40,000 and kind of give some relevance to it. For a typical college student, it's not unreasonable to expect that you're going to take out a loan of at least $10,000 per year So 10,000 times 4 years. It's reasonable to assume that you're going to have a loan of probably $40,000, and it could be even more than that. Many times you have 10 years to pay back that loan. Sometimes it'll vary. And also, the annual rate right now is approximately 4%. So once again, this is something to keep in mind, that when you get out of school, that you will have to be paying back these various loans. To kind of change things around, I mean, it's very possible for somebody going to medical school or doctoral candidate to have loans of $50,000 per year. So $50,000 per year for 4 years of medical school would be $200,000. And if you have 10 years to pay it off, and if it's at roughly 4% interest, that's $2,000 per month that you have to be paying back the bank, and approximately $24,300 per year. That's a lot of money. This same function can also calculate a mortgage payment. It's really the same idea. If you were to buy a house for $400,000 or take out a mortgage for $400,000, you would usually have more than 10 years to pay for it. It might very well be 30 years. And if it were 4%, what would end up happening is that you would have monthly payments of nearly $2,000 a year, with a yearly payment of $22,900. If you were to buy a car, same idea. You would change the loan rate for the car, make any adjustments to the number of years that you have to pay the loan back on, and then of course the interest rate. So this PMT function is very, very powerful and very, very useful. I'm going to go back to this idea of $40,000 student loan. You would probably have 10 years to pay it off. Right now it's running at approximately 4%, which would mean a payment of $404 per month. If you multiply that by 12, it means that your payments for the year is $4,800 a year, $4,859. But once again, an extremely powerful function, and it's something that you really can use, for the rest of your life. I mean, for any type of loan that you're taking out, be it for college, a car loan, a mortgage loan, or for that matter, if you're taking out a business loan, works the same way. I'm in here with my function. Click on f of x. It's showing me my B4, which is my interest rate divided by 12. My total payments is B3 times 12 to 10 years multiplied by 12. And lastly, this PV is the size of the loan. It's hard to see here. I put in initially a minus sign, a minus B2. So the size of the loan is in B2, but I have to put in a minus sign initially to have that number show as a positive number. Thank you.